Welcome to step 3 of your training video. After negotiating with the customer back and forth and agreeing upon a price, you must complete all necessary paperwork to purchase the vehicle. All paperwork must be done in blue or black ink and must be legible. If there are any illegible writings on any of the documents, they must be redone from scratch, as the DMV will not accept these documents. The colored highlights on these forms indicate different meanings. Those lines highlighted in pink are sections for the customer to fill out, whereas those lines highlighted in green are sections for you, the appraiser, to fill out. Fill out as much information as possible on these documents before asking the seller for a signature. It is important that you do so because oftentimes sellers may have bad penmanship, and we would like to keep things as easy as possible for the customer. At this time, I would like you to pause the video and grab one of each of the following sheets: a bill of sale, a paperless title form, an agreement to release vehicle form, a deposit agreement form, a payoff authorization, and a copy of a check. Note down this information and use it to follow along filling out the appropriate paperwork. Feel free to pause the video at any time. Before filling out paperwork, there are some key points to note. It is important that you record the exact miles that are on the odometer. If not, some issues can arise later on with the DMV. Beginning with the bill of sale, start off by filling out the VIN number. Be sure to use all capital letters. Moving on, input the year of the car and the make, as well as the license plate number. Then under seller, input the seller's name, and directly below, input car trackers as buyer name. On the bill of sale, when you fill out price, you want to put VR. This stands for value received. The purpose in doing so is so that the car remains in good standing at the auction. Once again, be sure that you input the exact miles on the odometer. Below that, you will then fill out the buyer information. The name of the buyer will be Car Trackers, followed by your very own signature and a date. You will then print the name of the seller, as well as the seller's address and their ID number. In the Power of Attorney section, the first blank will be the seller's name, followed by Car Trackers. This section is what allows Car Trackers to resell the vehicle on behalf of the seller. It is a very important section. When you're all done, you will then ask the seller for a few signatures. Now moving on to the paperless title form, you will start with the license plate number, the VIN number, as well as the year and make of the vehicle. You will only fill out this form if in the case a title is missing or you are completing a payoff on the vehicle. Move on by filling out the seller's last name and first name, as well as their driver's license number and which state it's in. Then move down to sections 3 and 4 by printing the seller's name, and kindly ask the seller for signatures, dates, as well as their daytime phone number. And don't forget, additionally, be sure you get the seller's current address. You will also fill this out in section 1. Moving on, we will now go to the Agreement to Release Vehicle form. This form is only filled out in the case that the seller is agreeing to sell the car to car trackers. However, they will still need a few days to complete the transaction. Start off by filling out your name as well as the date you are leaving a deposit. Then move on by printing the name of the seller, the year, make, and model of the vehicle, the VIN number, the price you agreed on, and the date the seller must complete the transaction by. Continue by printing the seller's name, the year, make, and model of the vehicle, your own signature, then kindly ask the seller for their signature. Moving on, we will now fill out a payoff authorization form. Start off by dating the form on top, printing the seller's name, as well as their phone number. You will then confirm the name of the lien holder with the seller, as well as their account number. Be sure to fill out the year, make, and model of the vehicle, as well as the VIN number, and the correct miles. Then fill out the price that you and the seller agreed upon, and you will then call the lien holder, as you must find out how much the seller still owes on the vehicle. The difference will be the payment to the customer, and the payoff is the amount that you receive from the lien holder. If in the case the seller will be coming out of pocket to sell the vehicle, you must identify what form of payment they are making, as well as other details if they make a card payment. Be sure to sign and print your own name, and the bottom left of the form will contain information that you receive from the lien holder, such as their phone number, who you spoke with, the amount of the payoff, and how long the payoff is good until. You want to be sure that the payoff is good for 10 days at the very minimum. Then kindly ask the seller for their signature, as well as the last 4 of their social security number. We will need the last 4 of their social if in the case we need to contact the lien holder again to obtain information. Moving on to fill out a check. You want to be sure your check is signed beforehand. Make sure you receive a signed check from your supervisor or a manager. Start off by dating the check, printing the seller's name, and indicating the dollar amount in numbers. You will then indicate the dollar amount by printing out the words. If the words do not entirely fill out the line, be sure to strike through for the remainder of the line. For the memo section, you will fill out the year, make, model of the vehicle, as well as the last 6 of the VIN number. When you make a mistake on a check, you must initial above the mistake with the initials of whomever signed the check. The paperwork that the seller has will dictate the paperwork that you must fill out. If a customer has a title, you will only need to fill out the bill of sale. However, if a customer does not have a title, and you have confirmed the customer does not have a lien on the vehicle, you will then need to fill out a bill of sale and a paperless title form. If the customer does not have a title, but still owes money on the vehicle, you will then need to fill out a bill of sale, a paperless title form, and a payoff authorization form. No matter what, in any transaction, you will always fill out a bill of sale. Upon filling out all required sections on the paperwork, be sure to ask the seller to take a photo in front of the vehicle and kindly urge them for a review on Yelp, Google, and Facebook.